Hello, my Find You Fridays crew. How are you going today? You're funny. All right, let's get some sharing done. Let's share it out, my friends. Share it out. All righty. All right, let's see. Oh, that's a different spot to put that. Okay. Oh dear. Okie dokie. Let's pop that over in there. Love it. Oops. I'm clicking all the wrong buttons this morning or this evening. There we go. Found it! Yay! Paste that. There. Oh my wordy word. Sheesh kaburkas. Ain't life grand? Life is grand. Grand. Hi, Debbie. Thank you for finding me. I don't even know if I can find myself right now. My Find You Fridays crew. Oh dear. It's hilarious. I had an absolutely wonderful time having my day off today. It was so good, so good. I absolutely required to have a very quiet day. I can't even. I just can't even. Oh, there it is. Yay! Oh, Lordy. I give up. I require to pin my comment and I can't pin my comment and it's kind of driving me a bit insane, but oh well. Oh dear. It probably would help if I changed that one over. You know how when you're in that space of like integration and you're just really spacey. I'm going to say spacey. And for that, I'm just like going, oh Lordy. So finding me, myself, and I is proving to be quite the challenge today. So oh dear. Yay, I pinned the comment. I feel happy. Oh dear. Okay. Let's see. Where else could I maybe share? Oops. I just shared it to my personal profile. I'm having a really fun evening. So how about I focus back on you guys? I think that might be a bit easier for me today. Anybody will think I'm going freaking loopy. I probably am, to be fair. Oh, check this out for a cup of teapot. Isn't it amazing? And I've got 2 teas in here today. 2 of them. One of them is from the Good Earth, and if I remember that rightly, that's got a hibiscus and sweet berries and stuff like that in it. And the puka one that I've got is got wild apple and cinnamon and ginger and lots of other yummy things. I was just like, what combination can we play with today? And that was what came up. So there we go. Happy days. So I wonder if it's ready. Smells ready. I actually got this tea and this teapot and cup set from a very beautiful friend of mine who I'm catching up with tomorrow. Yay! And we're going to the Salt Room in Adelaide here. I've not been to the one here in Adelaide. In fact, I haven't been to a salt room in many years, probably since 2017, I think. Hang on, what year was that one? 2016. 2016 was when I went to the salt room, and it up in Noosa. I went there. And it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. That was a good combo. Yum. So, yes, I am very much looking forward to that tomorrow. We will be having kind of like a brainstorming session with a bunch of other ladies for a project that I'm not allowed to talk about yet, that is coming up. So that's exciting. I'm just like, yay! Oh, how does it get any better? And I actually really do love working with other women and on projects and stuff. And the women that I'll be working with are absolute powerhouses, and so much goodness there, so much creativity, so much drive and passion, and for what their specific fields are, and that's just going to be the best thing to be surrounded with at this moment for me. As I'm juggling between having a normal job. I got out there and I got myself a real job. Next week I'll get a haircut. No kidding. I'm actually going to get a haircut next week. Yay. And that and this, obviously, and my healing side of things, the stuff behind me, it's all a fun juggling act, obviously, and having a relationship and having me time and, all those different aspects of being me. And so having this particular project come into the mix is going to be really, really interesting to see how that comes together. And, but yes, I'll be able to talk more about that as things sort of get a bit more finalized and stuff. But right now I'm just really excited, and I'm excited to be teaming up with these pretty potent and amazing women. And something pretty fucking special that's coming through. So I'm looking forward to that. Right. So how's your week been? How has your week been? What have you been up to? What have you been doing? Our gorgeous friend Debbie, who's here in the chat, and I and a few other women, wasn't necessarily meant to be just women, it's just the way it rocked out, are actually doing a 30-day video challenge at the moment in a private group. And it is proving to be a challenge, just like it's supposed to be. It's pushing some buttons and it's making people feel a little bit uncomfortable. And I love that. I love getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. I think it's one of the greatest tools that you can have in this space of, spiritual growth and awareness, and being able to be okay with feeling uncomfortable means that you're stretching out into those spaces of learning, of growing, of expansion, of it's just such a gift. It really truly is. So just a simple thing like a video challenge and having to show up every day and be on a live video every day and be seen by this gorgeous, intimate group of people has been such a gift once again in my world, and I'm gathering through the group that these others as well, which is so super cool. So I'm just having a little quick glance over here. Wow, yes, Monday. I thought so. Monday we have our full moon. Hence the reason why the energies are just like, and for me, when my menstrual cycle sort of matches up or is pretty close to where the full moon is, I get very, very tired. And that explains a lot about what happened today. It was just like I was zonked. almost the whole day. And then this afternoon, after I'd had a big sleep, because I got up, after I'd had my initial sleep, I was in bed and asleep by about 9:30, 10 o'clock, I would say. And then at 10 o'clock, I was asleep, and I didn't wake up again until after 8 o'clock this morning. Got up, went to the loo, had my Kangen water, and then promptly went back to bed. Did a few little bits and pieces, and then I went back to sleep until midday. And then I was like, oh, it's midday. Okay. And I just slowly got up. It's been the absolute brilliant day. And then I came into my office this afternoon, and I just basically took everything that you can't see, but basically on my desk down, because there's shelving units and all sorts of things underneath my desk. I took all of them out, went through absolutely everything, and sorted it all out, dusted things down, gave things a really good freshen up so I know exactly what's where. I kind of knew already, but it was nice to get in there and just have another little look. Sat down while I was doing those things, and I ended up, doing a bit of colouring in, and I did some origami. So it was a really hard-working session, it was. So yes. Oh, Debbie, it's a great challenge. Already there have been 2 days where I wouldn't have shown up had I not committed to the challenges. Excellent. Challenges me to change my state. Yes. Yeah, moon cycles, right? So interesting. And I find that even when my menstruation cycle doesn't match up with the full moon, I still do find that there's a dip in my energy around the full moon. A new moon, I find I go the opposite way. I find it really hard to sleep on a new moon, but a full moon, it's like I just want to sleep the whole time. And it's really, really awesome when I get to actually honor that feeling like I have today. It's just been such a beautiful day of rest and recuperation. And, I kind of wish in some ways that our society would allow us to do that more often, to allow us to actually go with the flow of, how our bodies actually naturally, rhythmically go and flow. I know that for some businesses that would be almost impossible to achieve, but it would be great if we could. It'd be lovely if we were still living in that sort of society where you were able to just kind of, mind you, I don't think we've lived in a society like that since primitive times, to be fair. Pretty much once people started having jobs and being on a more regulated system of, working and, weekends and that sort of thing. I think maybe the only difference would be farmers, perhaps, but even then, the animals don't stop. So they still have to get up and go and do what they got to do. So, but it would be lovely if we did have, if more of us were able to have that flex in our working days. Oh, that cup of tea is just so lovely. I really enjoy when I get to play with my flavors like that. I don't know if that deck actually wants to come and play today. Who else wishes to come and play? Maybe you. Maybe you. Oh, yeah. I'm starting to plan my business activities by moon cycles. I hadn't clicked on the connection with today's rest. There you go. I love that. Yeah, so like I said, the full moon is not until Monday, but I almost get a sense that my body knows that it's Monday. It's aware that it's Monday, and is also very aware that we've got a lot to do sort of in between then, and today was just a really, really good day to take that moment to rest. So yeah, interesting. So funny story. Last week, our tarot was coming out full of abundance, our weekly reading. And so I was like, gosh, go off and get your lotto ticket, right? So I made sure I actually even downloaded the Lot app so that I could buy myself a lotto ticket for Thursday. And I actually won a little bit. I don't know that I covered the cost of the ticket, but I won. So there we go. The reading wasn't wrong. I certainly did get some prosperity. But in saying that, I had a lot of prosperity over the weekend too. I worked hard for it, no doubt about it. But there was a lot of prosperity over the weekend. You know, I've made some really good inroads to my overall savings plan for my travel. There's like, I'm just looking at my financial status at the end of January versus the start of January, and I would have to say I'm very, very happy with where we're at. Long may it continue. I know that I've got we have got some bigger costs coming up a bit later in the year with having to move and things like that. So it's interesting to see just where things are at. Like for me, I know, and I've known this for years and years and years, that it is so important to give your money a target to go towards. If you just go, I want $1 million, it'll go, the universe goes, yeah, but what for? Why do you require $1 million? And so what you're asking for doesn't actually match what your match the desire, I guess, the outcome. So the universe just might give you a portion of that because that actually matches. It might give you $100 instead of $1 million. So when you actually allow yourself to really perceive what it would feel like and smell like and taste like and what you would do if you had that much money and or any sum. So I have at the moment, I can't remember if I told you, beautiful people. So I have at the moment on the front of my yearly journal is this figure here, which was just created out of the other little gem sticker thingies. There we go. And the number that came out, I intuited it. So it was $6,485. And so what I did is I took that $6,485 and then I divided it by 52 weeks. And, you know, it worked out to be that I had to, for those maths people, had to deposit roughly $125 a week at least to be able to meet / slightly exceed that target. And I'm just like, okay. So like the first, week was a bit tough because that was right after Christmas and New Year's and things were a bit financially in that first couple of weeks. But you know what? I'm pretty much back on target now. And I'm so stoked with that. And I'm just like, yeah, as well as putting money away in other little spots all around the place. And, it's just so much fun. It's fun when you've got a target to go towards and it's like, yeah. So it's like this 30-day video challenge. That to me is so much fun because I am competitive in a way, but I'm competitive with myself. And I think that's probably the best way to be, is to be competitive with yourself, right? So yeah, anyway, let us get into this reading for the next 7 days. Happy days. And of course, incorporating that lovely full moon on Monday. See what is the best way for us to be able to have those energies, all these energies working with us. We have the Animal Tarot deck out today, so that's why it's taking just that little bit longer. I have to take my time with it. It's a little bit like me today. I just had to take my time with myself. Okie dokie. So we've got the cards for the next week. So this is from the 4th of February through to the 10th of February. This is the 7-day reading to see how we can best move through this next 7 days, especially with the full moon hitting us on the Monday, and how that we can move with those energies with ease. And let's see what we've got going on here. So first of all, we've got the 8 of Autumn, which is the parrot. Okay. So the parrot says it's the perfect time to learn all you can by returning to school, taking a seminar, or conducting research. Do your best work and the law of attraction will bring you prosperity and career advancement. So to me, that says this is the perfect time for business. It's the perfect time for creation. It's the perfect time for learning new skills, new talents, new abilities, integrating anything. Like a lot of us have been going through a massive, huge spiritual upgrade lately, and that can include some new talents coming through. So this is definitely an excellent time for integrating all of that knowledge. And you'll be able to do your best work because everything is supporting you to do so. And there's going to be some wonderful prosperity and career advancement in that too. So it's like, for example, for me with this meeting, this brainstorming meeting I've got tomorrow at the Salt Room, perfect timing. The next card we've got is the 3 of Summer. Oh, where's that lighting today? Here we go, which is with the hummingbird. Isn't that beautiful? So the hummingbird is you have an exciting reason to celebrate, such as an engagement, wedding, graduation, or birth announcement. Remember to cherish those you love. Ooh, so I wonder what's happening. Now, when I see this, I also see this as, yes, it's a celebration. It's like, woohoo, let's go. There's also that element of co-creation that can be celebrated. There's an element of perhaps you're releasing a new book, or perhaps you are planning a trip and it's all just coming together just now. It's like these are the things that it's sort of referring to. It's that celebration, it's that co-creation, it's all those things coming together. Of course, when you have engagement, wedding, graduation, like the graduation not so much, but the engagement, wedding, that's obviously a co-creation between two different people. And obviously cherish the ones you love. So send a bit of extra love out there this week to those of your family and friends that you adore. Goodness gracious, this is turning into quite the reading. So we've got the World. Isn't our Shetland sheepdog absolutely just so stunning? Wow. I wish I lived in cooler climates to have a dog like that, because it's just so beautiful. So the Shetland sheepdog, congratulations on successfully accomplishing what you set out to do. You've made it through the challenges and incorporated the lessons life offered you with grace and courage. So again, we've got this absolutely phenomenal reading coming together to say just basically don't give up hope, because everything is coming together now. It's like this full moon energy is really ramping up things to come through, to be successful, for you to be prosperous, for you to have everything coming together in such a beautiful, harmonious way. I'm just getting this sense of absolute ease with this all. Like, this is just so exciting. The next card that we've got for the next 7 days is the 6 of Autumn, which is my little kiwi. Gotta love a kiwi. And the kiwi is your success and prosperity have allowed you to pay off debts, acquire wise loans, or receive a grant or a scholarship. And in return for heaven's blessings. Be sure to share the wealth with others through the donations of time or money to reputable charities. So, this is so interesting how this is all coming together. That's 4 cards, all very, very similar, but sort of leaning in the same direction. Now, as you are aware, the last 3 weeks of the year of Find You Fridays, I did donate all of the proceeds of those shows through to charities, various charities. And I'm going to continue that. I did it again in January. I did a donation in January, and I'll do another donation here in February so that we can keep that beautiful honoring, that beautiful forward, paying it forward, boosting up another charity in some way, shape, or form. I'll let you know who that is, and through a Facebook post, as I always do. And I'm looking forward to seeing just how much we can send their way. So I have a couple of different options, but if you have some thoughts about where you'd like me to consider donating to, pop them in the chat below. I'd love to have a look at that. The last card we've got for the 7-day reading is the High Priestess with the owl. So this is a time to pause and reflect and not take action, which is really fascinating to have after all of those other cards. However, let's see what else it says. Trust in your spiritual gifts as nothing is hidden from your divine intuition. So this card to me is saying more about allow yourself the space to breathe. Allow yourself the space to come into your divine intuition, not just working from your head and being all masculine about your creations and things. Drop into your heart, drop into your feminine and your divine feminine, and allow yourself the space to really consider all the options from all the points of views, from that overarching point of view, from that space of being up in the top of the tree or up in the sky and just watching as owls do. So this is just a sort of a nice kind of it's almost, even though we're talking about being up in the sky, it's actually a really nice grounding card, because sometimes we can get a little bit full of ourselves and all of our woohoo, and we forget to actually look at the bigger picture. So with this particular reading, even though it is full of so much amazingness and so much success and prosperity and moving forward and all that sort of thing, it's just this last little card was just a little nudge to go, look, that's all awesome, and be observant of the big picture. And let's see what our yummy card, our final theme for the week is. These cards, they get me every week. Really, they do. Frequency. So be very aware of the frequency that you are projecting out there. Obviously, with the rest of this reading, the frequency of success, prosperity, that happiness, that review time, looking at things and seeing how you can enhance them, integrating those new talents and skills that have come through, all of that, integrating any knowledge that you've picked up along the way. You know, if there's something that is really inspiring you at the moment, bring that through, bring that and enjoy being with that. And be very aware of when you're slipping out of that frequency of success, prosperity, enjoyment, learning, shifting, changing, growing, that space of being uncomfortable and moving through it anyway. You know, be very aware of where your frequency is at. If you start dropping down out of that, going into judgment and envy and resentment and all those sorts of things, blame, shame, regret, and guilt, all those sort of what we'd call distractor implants, that's when your frequency will be changing. So be very aware of that and pop yourself back up again, you know. And you can do that really, really easily by thinking of 5 things that you're super grateful for and why. Okay, I did that quite funnily the other night, sitting there, and Matt was being a little bit grumbly about things, and I just said to him, what's something that you love? Just randomly. And he thought I was after him saying, I love you. But no, I wasn't, actually. It was just, I wished for him to change his frequency because he was bringing the frequency down, and I'm just not in the space to deal with that right now. Oh, hello, Holly. Thank you for joining us, honey bun. So good. Yes, so that was the reading, the group reading for us from the 4th of February through to the 10th of February 2023. Sorry, I can't tell you if you should go out and buy a lotto ticket this week. Maybe you should. It did say that you were successful and prosperous. That Kiwi card did come out. Talked about loans and you know, paying off debt and stuff. So depends on where you sit with gambling, I suppose. Alrighty. So let's see. I haven't even got my PayPal app open at the moment. How rude. So those of you who are floating around the chat, who's your favorite charity? And could you perhaps tell me a little bit about why they're your favorite charity? That would be really handy to know. Yeah. There's a lot of charities out there that I wouldn't necessarily donate to. I do prefer, you know, the not-for-profits, and I do prefer the ones that are more, what do you call them? Like ground-based, if you know what I mean. Where they are on the ground, they're doing the work, and they're connecting with the people directly. There's a lot of those bigger ones that get donated millions, thousands and thousands of millions of dollars to, that you just kind of wonder where on earth all of that money is gone, because there's still, say, some of the research ones, I'm not going to point out any in particular, but some of the research ones, you kind of go, but we've still got massive problems with those areas. So where's all that money going? You know, and it's like, who's actually benefiting here? And that's why I'm very choosy about who I donate to. And I know that, so the Blokes and Sheds one, which also does work with women too, and Girls in Sheds, I think they call them, that to me just spoke to my heart anyway. You know, I'm a girl who would love to have my own shed. I would. But I know from personal experience how hard it is sometimes for blokes to talk with have a conversation with someone about what they're thinking about. And especially those rougher, tougher kind of guys. And it's not until they're in the perfect environment where they feel safe and secure that they will. They, you know, they'll quite happily sit or stand there and, you know, just chip off a bit of wood, or, you know, be creating something together. And then next thing you know, stuff will start coming out, just bubbling out. It happens really organically. And I think that's just such a beautiful, beautiful way of being. So I love that. All right. Cool. Okie dokie. It's been a little while since I've shown you this one, so let me show you this one. That is so cool. I was actually just watching that for the first time in ages, actually, and my internet's gotten better. iNet is not lying to me. Amazing. They said something about it having some like backup stuff going on, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like, it's an NBN connection but with some extra boosting stuff underneath for connectivity, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. And I have noticed over the past months that when I do those little videos, the little advert things, that they're a little bit not quite as crisp, and that one was super crisp, and I'm like, oh wow, cool. So what does Debbie say? So Debbie says, I once worked for a charity, sole finance role and CEO, being paid $1,000 daily. Whoa. I don't donate to corporate type charities for that reason. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's nuts. Can you imagine bringing in like anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 a week? Like, oh, for doing what? You gotta wonder, don't you? You gotta wonder. I know I certainly wonder about things like that sometimes, and I go, And yet there are other companies out there that do amazing things. Something popped up on my memories the other day about the CEO that refused to take was a CEO / owner of a company that refused of a tech company, I think it was, that refused to take, hi Lorene, hello. Lovely to have you with us. They refused to take a pay rise just so that all the other workers could get a pay rise. I was just like, oh, that one came up in my newsfeed again just this week, and I just went, that's the type of stuff we require in the world. You know, he was already getting paid heaps. So thank you so much for sharing out, Lorene. I'm so grateful for you. My sharing skills were not that great today. Or maybe they were exceptional, because I think I actually shared it to my page about 4 times in a row. We'll make sure everybody knows. Oh dear. Alrighty, so let's have a look. So yeah, Debbie, I'm curious to know, so you said that you wouldn't want to donate to a corporate type charity. Who would you donate to? Do you have any organizations that you would donate to that are maybe sort of tickled away in your little list there? I'm curious. And Lorene, same. Do you have any charities that you would donate to that perhaps not the big corporate charity types? Just curious. I'm on a little bit of research, a little bit of a hunt at the moment, because the proceeds from I'm doing once a month, I do a donation towards some charity with the proceeds from the Find You Fridays. So I'm looking for some other charities to donate to, and to see, and it doesn't have to be here in Adelaide. It doesn't even have to be in Australia. I'm more than happy to donate overseas if I can. Yeah, I know that there's loads of loads of charities around the world and people around the world that could really use some help. So sharing the love of the Find Your Fridays crew with those around in the charity sector is something that speaks to my heart and makes me feel good. It makes me feel like we are contributing forward to the greater community and the collective, and that's something that is really important to me. Alrighty. Of course, if anybody wishes to have an extended reading today, you can pop yourself in a little donation there. And that would be super, super great. Super, super gratefully received. The link, the PayPal link is in the show notes, and it's also in the description, and it's also tagged and pinned as a comment. So, and it's also scrolling across the bottom of the page here. Sorry, it's everywhere. I tell you, it's everywhere. Now, all right, we've got a few people floating around. So, who would like a gratitude? Yes. So whatever number is in your head right now between 1 and 88, type it in the chat now. And then I will read from the gratitude, the space between seconds poetry book, which of course is an intuitive poetry book. We didn't know it was a intuitive poetry book when we first wrote it, but there we go. This is what happens when you follow your intuition and you don't fight against it. And I know some of you know the story, but just while we're getting some people to type that number, the between 1 and 88 into the chat, this one here, the story with this book is that I went away to Hawaii to do some courses over there. And one of the questions that we got asked was, what have you already created that you've totally disregarded because you've already created it? And when I came back, nothing popped at the time. And I came back and I walked in the door at home and I asked the question and instantly got told poetry. And I said, no. Not happening. And yay, Lorene, yay, picked a number. Congratulations. And so it took me, to take a long story, and I'll shorten it down quite a lot. It took me about a week of my spirit team telling me poetry and literally taking the book that I had and still have my handwritten poetry in and pushing it out. So it was literally sitting on the floor. Nobody else had been in my house. And it wasn't like I'd done sleepwalking, because it was happening at times when I wasn't even at home. And they would just push it out and push it onto my floor. And I'd be like, no. And then after a week or so, I was like, okay, I'll just start writing, start typing them up and see what happens. And then, just magic happened. Magic happened and it created itself, and I just became the tool. And I'm so grateful for that. All right, 7. Okay. Number 7, loneliness is something I can't quite explain. It can hurt, make me feel out of it. It's a heavy feeling which is inside my body. It's a part of my mind, but it's released through my heart. I go all silent. I can't explain why. I don't want to be alone again. So what I was feeling as I was reading this, Lorene, is there's a space of disconnect that's happening perhaps with you at the moment, where either maybe you've had a relationship breakup or a friend leave you, or maybe it's just within you and you that actually feels lighter. So I'm not sure how aware you are of all these different aspects of you, but there are a few rather. And these different aspects of you. So there's like you and say your spirit team, and you and your body, and you and your higher being, and you and like business, and you and the things around you. They're all aspects of you. And obviously there's you and your feminine, and you and your masculine. They're all parts and pieces of you. And when we're not well connected to all those parts and pieces, and you've got one bit sitting way the heck out here, you can actually have quite the space of loneliness. And it's not until you bring all those parts and pieces in together and allow them to communicate, allow them to contribute with each other, that feeling of loneliness will start to dissipate. So that might be something that you might have to have a look at and see. I do an exercise in my private sessions, which does help, like allows all the energy flows to go around and through those aspects and brings them all together. And sometimes I add a couple of other things in there as well, just if I get the sense that there's something else that needs to be targeted. And that's quite often one of the first sessions that I do, or part of one of the first sessions, because a lot of people that come to me initially are very disconnected, and that's why they feel so lost and lonely. And it's like you can be in a crowded room and still feel very, very lonely. And you can be, and yet if you do this work where you're bringing all those parts and pieces in with yourself, you can also be in a completely empty room and feel the most loved and secure person in the world. So that is definitely what I would say the aspects are for you right now, is just keep doing the work that you're doing and being amazing, and allow your body to speak with you, and try your best to not dominate over your body too much. Okay. Allow her to tell you what she requires. Okay. Cool. There might still be some other little bits and pieces floating around that are still requiring some attention. Okay. Yeah, I know it is a journey, isn't it? She can be intense, and especially with a lot of the energies that have been flying around lately. Yeah, it's right up there. All right, my friends, let's see who else is out there that would like to pick a number between 1 and 88. You're so welcome. It's lovely to have another Lorene. I think, do you know, for many, many years, the only other time I ever saw a Lorene was actually on a death stone. So what do they call it? A tombstone. Tombstone in a cemetery back in New Zealand. And it was somebody, obviously I didn't know them, but it was a male, interestingly enough. And that was the first Lorene I had come across in my whole entire life. And I think you're probably one of the first I've seen spelt exactly the same way as me. There was, when I was living in Gisborne in New Zealand, there was a really funny moment where I was, only for 3 months, I was working as a supervisor at a supermarket. And my last name was Kelly back in those days. And one of the students came in one day and she says, "Do you work over at Woolworths?" And I was like, "No." And they said, yeah, you must do. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I'd know if I worked for Woolworths. And I think that would be a conflict of interest given that I work for the competition. And she says, but they said your name over the loudspeaker, you know, like you're a supervisor over there. And I was like, nah, definitely not me. Turns out there was another lady who also was called Lorene Kelly, but it was spelt slightly differently to how I spell mine, who lived in the similar suburb to me. We were like neighboring suburbs, so we ended up going to the same medical center. So I had to make really sure that when we went to do appointments and stuff, that I got my actual records up on the screen, because there was a couple of times where they started talking about results that I hadn't had tests for. And I was like, oh. Yeah, no, that's not me. Can you please double check my address? That would be great. What is the likelihood of that, eh? So funny. All right. Well, my friends, this is going to be an interestingly short episode. Is there anybody else out there that would like to get a reading, perhaps not on the book? It's funny because with the book, people get a little bit intimidated by it sometimes. Because it's you choosing it, not me. All right. Cool. Okay, we're going to do a meditation. All right, we're going to do a bit of a healing meditation, bringing in some of that full moon energies. Just asking now for what other elements that the meditation would like to have. Okay. Cool. Just bring that forward a little bit. All right. So we'll drop into our meditation now. If you can, close your eyes. If you're not driving, take a big deep breath in, right down to the bottom of your belly. And breathing out. And breathing in. And a slow, slow breath out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And a breath in for 9. And slowly out for 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Feel your body relax. Feel your shoulders relax. You may wish to straighten your spine, tilt your chin up, allowing your neck to move back to its natural space rather than hunched over from telephone watching or computer work. Allow your shoulders to roll a little bit. That's the way. And now we're going to be focusing on our base chakra today. So first of all, we're going to expand out, because that's what we love to do. Expand out your awareness beyond the room. Expand out your awareness beyond the building that you're in a big, big bubble. expanding out your awareness to the size of the country that you're in, and now to the size of the planet, now to the size of the solar system, now to the size of the galaxies and the universes. And if you wish to go further, you're more than welcome to do so. Oh. There's a nice big releasing yawn. You might find yourself doing that too. Allow your body to release those energies. All those moments, those instances that have stuck themselves within your body. Allow them to start coming free now as breath, as yawns. They may even come out as a cough or a sneeze. However it works is perfect for you. And now I'd like you to grab your sense of allowance and expand that out from your body. Expanding out that sense of allowance, remembering allowance is being able to see everything from no point of view, just seeing it for what it is, looking at it from the eyes of the owl, like from our reading, just seeing it from the overall perspective. Expanding out your allowance to the size of the room and to the size of the building in a nice big bubble, expanding out to the size of the country and the planet and the solar system and the galaxies, and now expanding out beyond your awareness. Take a big deep breath in, allowing your space to integrate. That's it. And now I'd like you to focus on your base chakra and on your reproductive organs within that area. Male or female, we have a lot of creativity which actually stems from our base chakra and the solar plexus, obviously. No, sacral. Solar plexus at the top, sacral. So between the base and the sacral, we have a lot of creative energy. And obviously our reproductive organs sort of sit more so in the base area. So that's why we're going to focus on that one today. So I'd like you to imagine big, red, beautiful flower. The flower of the base chakra. And now imagine, how does your base chakra flower look? Is it open and lush and full? Or is it a little bit closed? Maybe it's a bit tattered. Maybe it's sort of missing chunks of it. Maybe you've got half open, half not open. Maybe it's only open a little way. Maybe it's completely the opposite and it's gone beyond being just open and it is way too open. And the petals are curling back around underneath themselves. Whatever it is for you, I'd like you to now imagine very, very gently that there is beautiful opalescent light coming from your fingertips. And this beautiful opalescent light streaming from your fingertips is now very gently mending those petals, bringing them back to full health and vitality. And as you mend each of those petals with your very delicate, beautiful fingers, the creativity will start to pulsate through the flower. You will literally be giving the lifeblood back to your chakra through your own healing of your own body. As those petals open and are returned to their full health and vitality, you'll see the veins of life, of desire, of inspiration, of just intuitive sparkle, all flowing along each of those petals. Gently stroke those petals with your beautiful opalescent fingers, massaging them, loving them, showering them with gratitude and unconditional love, so that you can encourage all the parts and pieces of you to begin speaking with each other from our first chakra center. The base is the one that keeps us grounded, and yet it's also the one that life grows from. And life is in so many different forms. We're not just talking about the human body. Those inspired moments of life often will come from this base area. And now imagine those beautiful petals are wrapped about halfway across your legs and coming up to almost touch the sacral chakra, leaving enough room for the sacral chakra to have its space. And what you'll notice is that as the base chakra, with all of its glory, tickles on the edges of the sacral chakra, it too blossoms and blooms and opens up. And it keeps flowing all the way up. So it then tickles the solar plexus, who tickles the heart, who tickles the throat, who tickles the third eye, who tickles the crown. And now I'd like you to just step back a little bit from that and observe as all the other chakra centers, because we actually have about 114 of them, and they spread from below your feet to above your head and across your shoulders, and there's quite a few around the head area. Those all start sparkling as well. You've just become your own beautiful chakra constellation. It's so beautiful. So, so beautiful. Take a big deep breath in and slowly letting it back out again. And from this space, I'd like you to just reaffirm your intentions, your goals for the next 12 months, for the next 6 months, the next year, the next week, even maybe tomorrow. Beautiful, well done. Just giving you a little moment to reaffirm your intentions, your goals, your targets for this year. Beautiful, well done. Take a big deep breath in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up through the body with that unconditional love. And perceive it as it moves through all those chakra centers that we've just been playing with, as it makes beautiful music all the way up. And then as you breathe out, bringing Father Sky energy down through the body, through all those chakra centers, and perceive the music as that goes down through the body and expresses gratitude for everything and everyone, bringing up Mother Earth. Feel all that music as it goes up with that unconditional love. And then as you breathe out, bringing all of that gorgeous Father Sky energy down. And once more, breathing up. And then breath out and breathing down, bringing Father Sky down. Beautiful. When you're ready, open your eyes. Oh, wow. That was fun. Well, my sweet crew, let me just double check over in PayPal land, see if anybody has chosen to donate. Dun, dun, dun. We're all good. We are all good in the hood. Alrighty. Well, my sweets, that's it for tonight. So I will be back on Tasty Tuesdays with Barry Laney, who is from First Sense Tarot. Yay! I'm really looking forward to chatting with this absolutely gorgeous gentleman. He's so humble and so gentle and so chatty, and I'm just really, really looking forward to having a good time with him on Tuesday. And other than that, I will be back for Find You Fridays next week. How does it get any better than this? I am so looking forward to seeing what we can create over the next week. So until next week, be bold, be brave, be you. And if you haven't done so and you haven't done so all week, please do something tasty for yourself. I don't really care what it is, as long as you do something yummy and tasty for you. Until next time, bye-bye, my friends.